What's up? It's time for more Mushoku Tensei. This is season 2, episode 21. I kind of just woke up recently, so just, you know, hopefully I have the energy. I mean, I always have the energy in here. It's just about whether I have the energy on here. This is the part that you guys have to look at, and sometimes the energy isn't quite there. But I think it'll be fine. I think we'll be fine. So, last episode, we got Roxy again. She's back. She's with us again, and I'm very happy about it. I'm happy to see this reunion, and I can't wait to see how it plays out. And I mean, are we going to get to the end of the labyrinth today? Because they're progressing through the labyrinth pretty quick, you know? Like, are they going to get to the end and there's going to be a big boss at the end or something? Like, that's what I'm kind of thinking. I'm thinking, like, in this episode, we get to the end, and there's something crazy there, and then we might spend an episode or two, like, dealing with the crazy thing. I don't know. Because we're on episode 21, so I think if there's 25 episodes in this season, which I haven't checked how many there's going to be, but there's probably 24 or 25, then we'd have 3 or 4 after this, so that's enough time to, like, you know, have something big happen, and then sort of, like, get out of there, and then something big happens outside of the thing, like fucking Sylphie dies or something. I don't want that to happen, but I'm just predicting something sad and awful that will happen to sort of end the season. But we'll see. Let's jump into the episode. Make sure to support the video and the channel if you can. I am a small channel, so every little bit helps me out a lot. And I have a Patreon account as well if you want the full-length versions of these reactions, as well as early access and exclusive videos. Go check out my Patreon account. It's absolutely worth it. And there's a Jent Watches One Piece channel as well. If you like One Piece, that's a great place to go check out. All right, let's do it. This is Mushoku Tensei Season 2, Episode 21. Good. Marking so you don't get lost. Seems like she's on her own. Is this beforehand? Oh. Keep seeing her marks. Really is the labyrinth. Aww. Okay. Good, here we go. I love that illustration. I used it as a thumbnail last week, but it's so good. Aww! Hugged her hat off. One hell of a thing to talk about when you first see each other. Does she not remember him or not recognize him? Because he's Is it a memory thing, or is it just because you look mature? Oh my god. Oh my god. Strange reaction, Rudy. But I want to hear the conversation about... I want Roxy and Rudy to talk. Oh, you know it's Rudy now. Yeah, okay, that's what I thought it was. She's so cute. Oh, everyone keeps hugging her hat off. What are you doing? He's sneaking into her room. Leave her alone. Oh, you're just checking on her. That's fine. Oh, wow. Is that just her without her coat? She looks so different. There's such a different power dynamic between them now, it feels like. It feels like Rudy thought about Roxy more in that time than Roxy thought about Rudy. 師匠はお変わりないようで。ちっちゃいままです。ちっちゃくはないと思いますけどね。た時にすぐに入り直さねえと二度と迷宮に入れない呪いがかかっちまうのよ。呪いか。 Huh.
おそらくこの世界のトラウマみたいなものだろうな。
Oh.
とりあえず次は
Oh.
第3回
So it isn't a curse, it's just their word for
展
trauma.
開次第だが最低でも第
Or is it a
4回
curse and he just
魔法
assumes
陣を
that?
見つけるまでは潜ろう。
Is he purposefully walking in her line of sight? Or he's just pacing? He's just waiting for her?
ルディ、
何ですか？
目の前をうろうろされると気が散ります。
He's just very excited to see her again.
暇ならこの本でいくつかわからない点があ
He
る
will
ので。
gladly do that.
何でも聞いてください。
いつの間にか背丈も随分越してしまったから
This is
な。
probably very strange for her, I feel like.
アイシクルフィールド。
Hell yeah! She gets very
そろ
embarrassed.
そろ魔力切れです。ルディ、
はい、
ちょっと背中を貸してもらっていいですか。
Of course.
どうぞ。
Aw.
ルディ、
何ですか？
二人で迷宮に潜りませんか。
Oh,
二人でですか？
sounds great.
はい。本来迷宮探索は
Oh, this is
面
really
白いものです。
sweet.
約束ですよ。
ええ、約束です。
ちょっと寝ます。
はい。
I hope that's a legitimate sleep and not
勢いで返事をしてしまったが、
some curse.
子育てとかもしないといけない俺にそんな時間はあるのだろうか。
Yeah, it's hard to say no to Roxy like
余
that.
裕ができたらでいいか。
敵だ。
Alright, here we go.
ストーンキャノンで先制します。
ルディ、いけません。
Oh,
うかつに魔術を放てばカウンターが飛んできます。
okay.
ではどうすれば？
Cool.
側に剣があるとやりにくいんですよ。
Makes sense.
勇壮なる表現にてかの者に断罪を。アイシクルエッジ。
Oh, cool. That was so cool. God damn.
すぐには倒せねえな。
父さんもしかして
They're working together really
強
well.
くなりました？
あ？
I like their
そん
communication.
なことはない。
武器が必要ですわね。
She can't.
焦って二次遭難に遭うのは避けなければならない。
地面に油でも撒けばいいんじゃないですか？
それではパウロさんが転んでしまいますよ。
True.
あ、ルディ、タルフル
She's
の
so
もらいましょう。
cheerful right now. She loves shopping for this shit.
エリナリーゼさん用に良さそうですね。
で、お値段は
A billion.
高っ。
Yeah.
何せ一つ教えると工夫して10にも20にもするような弟子でしたからね。性格も少し大人になったと仲間に褒められたりもしました。
Nice. Ooh.
この部屋
Was that the
で
weapon that
第
they
4階
said
層の
was
魔
too
法陣は
much?
最後だ。の通りだ。タルフロの根は使えるぜ。
Cool. Thank God for that
じゃあ
book.
戻らず。この本の主はこれ以上攻略できてないみたいだな。
Okay.
手伝います。
おう、助かる。
双方向の魔法陣と酷似しているが、本によるとランダム転移するらしいんだ。
Uh-oh.
七星なら分かったかもしれませんが、
もしかしてルディの恋人ですか。
No.
七星がまさか。
I do have a wife in Sylphie. You should
どうだ。
tell her about your wife.
いや、ダメだ。
Just in case.
本に実は別のルートがあるとか。
そりゃねえな。終点はここで間違いね
How do
え
you
よ。
know?
根拠？
ない。
Okay, great.
ああ、それとな、ルディ。一言言
Is
い
it
たいこと
about
があったん
Roxy?
だが。
何ですか？
Is it a father-son talk?
何ですか？そういうの死亡フラグって言うんです
True.
よ。
どうするよ。
That's a death flag.
今言うと。
どこかで見た。つい最近だ。
Hmm? Ah.
ここは転移魔法陣の遺跡に似ている。
Okay.
銀さん、この辺りに隠し階段がないか探
Yeah.
してみてください。
Oh, that sounds like.
おい、ある。
Yeah,
あるぜ
nice.
先輩。この下に空洞が。
Huge. Amazing.
やるな。さすが。
転移魔法陣の遺跡に似てますものね。
Stop hitting him so hard on the back.
罠があるかもしれねえ。ロール3枚ぐらいよこしてくれよって。
Roxy's the only one who didn't do it, but she was ready to. Her hands up.
お疲れ様です。と
Aw. That one was a light one.
先に行くぜ。
Magic circle to the 6th stratum. Whoo! Oh, really good. Really good episode. I think, like, I really liked it because I'm super interested in this, like, in the Roxy dynamic. It isn't how I expected, but now that I'm seeing this dynamic, it's what feels like it makes the most sense. I don't know exactly Roxy's feelings, but there was that, like, is that your girlfriend question, and then Rudy just went, what? Nanahoshi? No. And then Roxy looked, like, relieved, which makes me think, you know, she was hoping he didn't have a girlfriend, and now has found out he doesn't. But he does have a wife. I feel like with a "is that your girlfriend" question, I feel like the response should always be a clarification of who it actually is, instead of just a no. Like, I just think in any situation, because there's no harm in saying, like, oh no, she isn't. My wife's name is Sylphie. And that's it. Or, like, I think Roxy would know Sylphie, right? So you could probably say, like, oh no, remember Sylphie? I actually married her. And it's a very natural way to, like, put that. It's not like a forced thing to add to the conversation. You brought up the topic of girlfriends. I'm telling you who my partner is. So I wish he did that, but I think he was sort of distracted and just didn't think about it, I guess. But might unintentionally be leading her on, which would be sad, because especially, like, with her saying, like, hey, we should go explore a labyrinth together, just you and I. Like, I think, you know, she wants to spend more time with you. It's very possible, like, what the situation is now is that Rudy came back and she went, oh my god, he's hot. Like, she didn't recognize him immediately, and it was because there was a disconnect in her head with, like, the Rudy she was imagining, which is, like, this, you know, young, immature kid, and the Rudy she sees now, which is, like, a, you know, a well put together, talented, reliable man, you know. So she has that disconnect in her head, so she, like, didn't believe it at first, and then now she does. But, you know, first time she saw him again, he saved her from a thing, and it was, like, now, and so now, like, I think she has maybe a bit of infatuation with him that she didn't expect to have, and it's quite confusing for her, and so she's a little sheepish about it. But I also think in this time, like, the interactions between them have actually felt like, I don't know what situation in my life this has happened, but I feel like it is a situation in my life where you haven't seen someone for a while and they haven't seen you, and it's very clear from, like, your excitement to talk to them, and they're sort of, like, not disregard or anything, but they clearly don't have the same level of engagement as you did them, that, like, there's clearly a difference there in, like, I have clearly, like, you were clearly so formative in my life and I clearly wasn't as formative in yours. And that would make sense because, like, for Rudy, Roxy was his teacher, someone who taught him a lot of the important things about magic, which is, like, the main thing he's good at this time. One of the first people in this world to, like, take care of him and like, that he looked up to, and one of the first people he ever had a crush on, and, like, just a lot of these things that were so important to Rudy. But to Roxy, I think Rudy was just, like, a talented student, you know, like, she remembers him, of course, but it's like, he's, like, she teaches people often, you know, and she meets a lot of people, and it probably wasn't her first whatever, except for maybe her most talented student, maybe. But other than that, you know, it's just, he was just a boy she taught. So, like, I think she cared about him, but it wasn't like, he wasn't the most important person in the world to her, but she was almost the most important person in the world to Rudy. So you can see this like this dynamic change between them, and I think it's really interesting because they write it well, and I think they also animate it well. I gotta say, like, the animation of this show is like consistently very good, and it's like, but it's one of those shows that the animation is almost what's it called? I can't think of the term, but it doesn't show off too much. It feels like it does everything really well. Things stay on model, things stay consistent. I also think, and I've thought this since the show started, but it has like the film grainy look to it that I don't know how to describe better than that, which I'm personally not a huge fan of, that film grainy look. I know some people like it in the way it sort of makes it look more cinematic and authentic and stuff. And I get that, but I've never really been a huge fan of it because I guess I like the drawings looking a little more crisp than that. For example, like when I take screenshots of the show, I like when I'm able to, like, on a nice moment of the show, pause it and the screenshot looks like really like beautiful, like an illustration someone did. And sometimes in this show, like, there'll be entire episodes where the animation is so consistently good, and yet a lot of the screenshots don't look as good because they're drawn to look good in animation, you know, and so they look a little different. That's just like the way I feel about the art style. I think it's great. It's perfect for the show. There's nothing wrong with it. But like, I don't talk about it as much because that look isn't my style as much. And so where was I going with this? But with that being said, I have to also acknowledge that that show is super well animated, and I always talk about the fact that I love expressions in shows, and when shows can pull off expressions. A lot of the Roxy expressions in this episode, I really enjoyed. I thought were super great and helped me understand how she's feeling a lot better. As someone who's not an artist myself, I can't draw for shit. I have always been fascinated with animation and their expressions, and anime tends to be really good at expressions. I feel like Western shows that like they can sometimes have like expressions that I think are kind of like plain and don't feel as, you know, realistic even when they have pretty good animation. But anime tends to, I mean, I think because of the like big eyes and like just the art style in general, it allows them to be super expressive, and I really enjoy that. But yeah, anyway, so Roxy, I think there's a disconnect there, but I liked in this episode there was like, we got to see how they all worked really well together, and I liked the communication in that one scene of them being like, okay, like Rudy shouting out, I'm going to do this, and Roxy going, wait, don't do that, they'll probably counter your spell, instead focus on support, and then Rudy going, got it, I'm gonna use this spell, so keep an eye on your feet, and then him going like, okay, yes, and then him looking to elinalise and her going, I'm gonna take the one on the left because I prefer my sword not to be close to the wall, and them doing that, and then Roxy saying, okay, let's support elinalise. Like, it was really perfect communication, you know. It was like they were saying everything super efficiently. They were planning out directly as they were going. They weren't ever doing things to the surprise of others. I think it was really great way to show a team that's working together well, because sometimes you'll show scenes like that and you'll show them like wordlessly doing great things, and the implication is that like, oh, they're so on the same page they don't even need to speak. But I think this scene actually made me feel like they were even more on the same page because they did speak, and because they were strategizing in real time, and sometimes like giving each other alternate strategies and stuff. That actually made me feel like they were a better team than if they were just to be doing all their own thing. But yeah. Anything else? No, I don't think so. I don't think there's anything else to talk about. I liked this episode. I thought it was fun. Thank you for watching. Make sure to support the video if you can, liking, commenting, and subscribing. And go to my Patreon account if you want the full-length reaction, early access, and exclusive videos. I will see you next time. Goodbye.